Welcome to the Libra Lounge with Keisha podcast. I'm your host, Keisha. I've got producer James here in the studio.
Hey,
How are you doing, producer James?
I'm good so far.
Oh, do you feel suspicious that I asked you how you were doing today?
Yeah.
You seemed a little bit caught off guard.
Well, usually you just like jump on me.
Stop. Stop. Stop making it seem like you are an abused partner because you're
Um,
not.
Not abused. That might be a strong word.
Oh, well, what word would you use?
Um, I'm at
Watch
least
your
a
words. Watch it.
I'm
Watch
loved.
it.
I'm loved
Uh-huh.
beyond all measure.
Okay.
There
Yeah.
we go.
Okay. Well, fix your face so that matches your words.
Yes, ma'am.
So, you guys, producer James and I, about 2 weekends ago, we took like a little weekend vacation. We like to do little weekend getaways, and decided to do like a small town this time. Okay. So, we went to Dripping Springs, Texas.
Yep.
Which, let me tell you, it is the sweetest little town. Like, everyone there is super nice. There's so many little fun things to do, different things to do. I got to feed alpacas, which was just the highlight of my trip. But let me say this, you ain't gonna see no black people.
We saw a couple.
You saw a couple because you saw two of them and me. So you saw three. I saw two because I saw two other black women in the entire town. I'm just saying,
Do you
it
think
is
they?
it is greatly palm colored in Dripping Springs, Texas.
Do you think they lived there, or were they just visiting?
One of them, you can most definitely tell her ass lived there. I mean, this girl had to be maybe 19, 20, 21, and what, you're not supposed to start looking homely until you're really up there in age. And, I described it as, she was with a white guy, young white guy. They both lived like they lived on Little House on the Prairie. It was pretty bad. And they were out on a Friday night, and she had on slides. Her hair was in a ponytail. I'm like, girl, it is Friday night. It is time for you to step out. Like, what is wrong with it? And then she had the audacity to look at me. Bitch, this what you wish you looked like. Even though I'm almost 46, I suggest you take out the note app on your phone and type out everything you see. Go ahead, take a picture. Take a picture. I'll even turn around for you so you can take a picture from the back, because this is how it is done. Girl, please be so for. And they both looked like they were scared of black people. They looked at me like they had never seen a black person before in life.
Maybe that's the first time they saw like a real black person.
What? In that town, yeah, because only one lived there. Like the other black lady that we saw, she clearly didn't live there. I think she came there for shopping, kind of like what we were doing, because she looked like she was part of the 21st century. That other girl, I was like, baby, we've been free a long time. We can go into all the shopping centers. Where I don't know where she got her clothes from. She wasn't like poor, you know what I mean? Like, she wasn't that. She was just exceptionally homely.
It was just plain, like nothing like yelled about her.
And if you're a plain Jane, that's fine. I'm probably being too critical because I'm a full-grown drag queen. So that's not for everyone. But what she was, that's not for me. I don't care if I'm 99. I'm not wearing that shit. I don't care if I can't walk. Y'all better put some platform shoes on me, some kind of Tory Burch sandals. I mean, that just was shocking. That was the most shock. That was more shocking than not seeing any other black people.
And if you think she's just being like conceited or like talking herself up,
Oh, I'm not. Oh no.
no, here's the reality, folks. Every time we go out, and it happened
Here
at
we
this
go.
restaurant
Here we go.
in Dripping Springs, like 5 times it happened. Someone stopped her and said, "Oh my God, you're so beautiful. Your makeup is perfect. You're so gorgeous." Like, I literally make a bet with her every time we leave
It's
the
so
house.
ridiculous.
I'm like, how many times are you going to get told that you're gorgeous?
So, and I don't see what the other people are seeing. I don't get it. I am appreciative of it, but I just don't. every time it happens, it's still a surprise to me. James loves it. Like, he takes a tally, and I'm like, you are utterly ridiculous.
I like having a show pony. What can I say?
So you guys may have heard me talk about this on Pink Shade, that the place where we were staying was called a tree house. Okay. Not a tree house like, you know, the Little Rascals built in their backyard, nothing like that. But it is like it's a house. Was that shit even on a tree?
So
it's like it's up. It's up.
We I think we finally said it was tree adjacent.
Yes. So to me, it wasn't any. Okay, it was different, but as far as like how it was designed, I mean, we live by the water, so we have beach houses they're all up.
Yeah.
So this place was up, and when I tell you, first of all, okay, that was a one and done.
I'm not booking the next trip, apparently.
It was cute. It was cute, but it was too fucking remote for me. When the sun went down, first of all, I'm like, we need to get off the streets anyway, because you cannot tell me this is not a sundown town. You just cannot. It's either a sundown town or all these motherfuckers turn into vampires. I don't know which one it is, but we need to get back to our tree house. So as I'm looking, when we first got there, I took a note. I said, this motherfucker trying to kill me on this trip. Because this right here, every murder documentary, this is where white men take their wives to kill them off. They use the excuse, oh, she wanted to take a picture. Oh, she wanted to go hiking and she fell. Oh, she wanted to go fishing and an alligator grabbed her and drowned her in the lake. Oh, this was a setup. And I thought for a second, I don't know how much shit that I taught this week, but if he's calculating all the shit that I've taught throughout our relationship, I might be in trouble. And I'm like, it looks like there will be no phone reception. Thank God there was. But I was like, I might want to chill with my attitude this weekend because it would take someone a long time to find my body out here. It was eerie that night. Like, James was fast asleep. James can sleep anywhere. During any situation, he will fall asleep. That shit was eerie to me last night. Like, you heard nothing. Nothing but silence.
I liked it.
I don't like that. This is what I had to do. I had to take a Xanax, trazodone and a half, and an edible before I could just go to sleep, because I'm just like, is Bigfoot out there? Is Jason Voorhees out here? Is this motherfucker I'm sleeping next to gonna kill me as soon as he thinks I'm asleep? I had a lot of questions. I had a lot of thoughts. So I just really needed to pass the fuck out, basically.
Just go ahead and drug yourself
I
out.
needed to drug myself up in order to get sleep, because it is just, I'm used to sounds. I'm used to noise. I'm used to, all the people and the animals who live in our house. There was nothing.
Well, even at night, like, you're an ambient noise sleeper. Like, you gotta have the TV on.
I got to have something on.
Something.
Yeah, I can't just be in silence. Silence to me is weird. It's just weird. I got to have something going on. Maybe that's like a psychological condition that I have that has not got diagnosed, because all the other ones that I have are more important than this one. So we really haven't touched that with in therapy quite yet. But yeah, but when I say it is, I would go back in a minute. It was so sweet. The people there were very, very nice. I'm sure every time I left outside of a shop, the next person called and said one of them is coming. We're gonna meet our quota for the month for minorities. But it's such a sweet town. Excellent food. I had one of the best things I've ever tasted in my entire life. Okay. There's this place called the Great British Baking Company, and they had a toffee brownie. When I tell you, if I were in prison, they said, what is your last meal? It would be 12 of those. It was delicioso. I would actually drive the 4 hours just to have that brownie again. And I wanted to bring some home, but I knew I was going to be high on the drive home. And there was no way those brownies were ever going to go over the threshold. Is it a hole or hold?
Hold.
The threshold of my house. So I was just like, you know what? I'm not going to do it. I'm going to enjoy this here. But if you're in Texas and looking for a nice little cozy town, go to Dripping Springs. And it's not even like they're up to date with stuff. Like their boutiques were great.
Nice.
All their stores, the restaurants were just lovely, you know.
It's right outside of Austin. So it's almost, it's not quite a suburban of Austin, but it's close enough. You can go to Austin for stuff. But yeah, the food was good. The shopping was good. The you know, they got distilleries, breweries. The Texas Olive Company was there,
Which is
pretty
awesome.
awesome. Yeah, great time.
Yeah, it was the perfect white weekend. I'll say
Yes,
that.
it was, yes.
Yes, it was.
Libra Lounge approved.
Libra Lounge stamped and approved. They may have even put my picture up, but like
It's the biggest celebrity they've had. Well, here's what's funny. We learned something about that town.
Okay, what did we learn?
What is it the most?
It is the wedding capital of the state of Texas.
Yes.
So
yeah.
so hold on. This is how you know there's no black people that come through there. I'm glad you brought this up.
Black weddings.
Every time we went somewhere, it said, we're in town for a wedding. Bitch, no, we were visiting. Shit, why I gotta be for a wedding? No, we got asked that question probably 20 times.
Well, it got to a point we just started saying, "Hi, how you doing? We're not here for a wedding."
Yeah, because every single person would ask that question.
Yep.
It was like,
But I can see it. I mean, it's the hill country. They got it's a nice spot.
yeah, there's nice venues, lots of vineyards, very nice. So, if you are a friend of the Libra Lounge with Keisha, and I hope that you are, it is time for the Gab.
We know she has a really big mouth, which sounds kind of dirty, and that's probably true too. Let's gossip. The Gab with Keisha.
All right, so I think it was last week, they had LabyrinthLive here in Houston. So basically it is, well, shit, I didn't know this until like we got there. They play the movie Labyrinth, you know, from the 80s. You got David Bowie, a young Jennifer Connelly, and I don't think anybody else became a star. It was a Jim Henson production. I loved it as a kid. Like, I can't even tell you how many times I watched that movie as a child. Producer James and his country bunking ass had never seen it before.
Nope.
Like, what kind of childhood did you have that you did not watch this movie?
It just never. No one in the house ever wanted to watch it, so we never did.
All right, so we took we actually.
Just gotta remember, this was when we couldn't just flip a channel and find it.
Well, I went to the movies a lot, and I also remember watching it on cable color television.
Yeah, we didn't go to the movies much.
We did. Me and my mom went all the time. So we went with one of our friends who, of course, had seen the movie. So basically, they show the film, and then there's a live band there to play all of the music, which was all written by David Bowie. All right, so we get there, and people are dressed up as like the characters. You had Jared, you had someone dressed up as the worm, though one of those red crazy creatures that could like take their body parts off and like put them on other red crazy things. You had someone dressed like the baby Toby. I just can't help it because in my black mind, every time I hear Toby, I think about the movie Roots.
Right.
And my name is not Toby. It is Kunta Kinte. Like, that's all I could think about. So we're watching this movie for the first time as adults. And I said, well, go ahead and add that to the list of things that list where we have children of the 80s parents didn't give two fucks about them. They didn't give two fucks about us being around secondhand smoke. They let us play in playgrounds with lead poisoning. They let us be around crackheads. We didn't have to wear seatbelts. We had no car seats. And they also didn't give a fuck about what we watched.
True.
Because watching this shit as an adult, I'm like, what was my little grown ass doing watching this? Had zero bit. This movie is filled with kidnapping. I want to say, what is it whenever like you sell children?
Oh, trafficking?
Trafficking?
Human trafficking?
Because you can't tell me that David Bowie's character was not going to turn that baby into a goblin and have him working for him.
Well, he said he was.
So we had human trafficking. We had David Bowie with like his dick and these fucking tight leggings that he had. His dick was in everybody's face. We had him being sexually attracted to a 16-year-old girl who he was trying to have to be his wife. We had child endangerment. What else did we have? What else was it? We had enslavement.
Enslavement, yep.
What else? I mean, the music was good. The music was great. But then we had animal abuse.
Excessive fart sounds.
That's okay. That's in our house. I mean, that's on 1,000-Pound Sisters. So then we had animal abuse.
Yep.
I'm sure you didn't even catch this part. Y'all know the song. You remind me of the babe. What babe? Babe with the power of voodoo. Who do you do what? Remind me of the babe. When they say, what kind of magic spell to use, they say, slime and snails and motherfucking puppy dog tails.
Yep.
Great timing, Saki. Puppy dog. They are talking about chopping up dogs to make a spell. And our parents felt that it was okay to give us a high C drink box, a fucking peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and say, hey, sit down and you can watch this. What the fuck? Nowadays, this would be banned.
It should
have been rated R. R, okay?
I mean, and me seeing it for the first time, I had questions. I had some questions there at the end.
Shit, I had questions too. It's like, what the? I was looking around like, are we all seeing the same thing? Are we all thinking the same things? Because I'm thinking this was fucked up.
See, and I really think, because this happens even today, because it had puppets, because it
was supposed to be kitty.
Yeah. I mean, I was in the theater when the South Park movie came out, and I guess parents didn't realize what it was because it was animated. There's a part in the film where they, like, in 5 minutes in, and they're singing a song called Uncle Fucker.
Oh, gosh.
Like, loudly, and it's hilarious. But you see people in the movie getting up out of the theater where they're showing the movie singing Uncle Fucker.
Yeah.
At the same time, people in real life are getting their kids and leaving the theater because they had no idea this is what it was. All they saw was cartoon. All they saw was puppets.
Yeah, you most definitely need to read.
Get ready.
You need to read the they have a little thing with the scenario of what the fucking film is. It was a lot. It is most definitely not something that you should. I mean, the kids nowadays, this is a nothing burger for them.
That's the thing, yeah. Like
nowadays, this will be highly appropriate.
We're only saying that because we're looking at it, thinking about where we were in
the
1986 or whatever, 83, whenever it was.
Yeah, I mean, so basically, we probably were lighting up a parent's cigarette with our own mouth, sitting down with a fucking brandy. Watching David Bowie lust over a child.
Well, remember, Keisha, we grew up in a time where Two Live Crew literally broke the world, which is nothing new.
No, you were saying it. You were talking.
I just finished it. Okay. God damn it. Yeah, we grew up in a time when Two Live Crew's album like totally broke the world, and that shit ain't nothing these days.
God, no. I mean, I can remember. Me So Horny was playing on the radio, and I can remember being at the kitchen table and asking my mom, "What does horny mean?" Because we were in elementary school, had no idea. But I mean, that's a nothing burger now.
Oh,
period, point blank. That is like laughable at this point.
Oh yeah, Cardi B is 10 times worse than anything they ever did.
No, I mean, think about Sexy Red has that new song out with Bruno Mars, Fat Juicy. It's what's it called? Fat Juicy and Wet. I mean, she's literally saying, "Ride my face, you'll leave with a milk mustache. Slide in and out. Fuck me from the front, fuck me from the back." It is way graphic. I don't know how it's played on regular radio. There's no way that I know all the words because I downloaded it. But yeah, Two Live Crew. No, that's they might as well have been members of the Mormon Tabernacle Choir with Me So Horny. So,
Right.
moving right along to the show, a new TLC show, Jay and Pamela, which is spelled Pamela, but it's pronounced Pamela, okay? So they're this couple, and they both have, I'm not going to give you the correct term for the disease that they have, but basically it is brittle bone disease, where they are exceptionally small, like smaller than a little person small. Their body extremities are, to me, seem long, especially their fingers. But then they have Jay has a normal size head. Pamela's head is kind of big, and they have to live there. I don't know that they can walk.
I don't think they really can.
I don't think they really can. They have to have pretty cool wheelchairs to basically get here and there. So they're this couple, and basically they have been dating for 5 years. Pamela lives with Jay and his family, and the first shock that I had from this was on either the first or the second episode, because we found out that Pamela's family has not come to visit her the whole 5 years that she's lived with Jay. I can't remember where they live, but 5 years is a long time to not hop a plane to go see a family member, especially a family member that's like special fucking needs. Yeah. You know what I mean? So she's like, my family's just not very accepting of the marriage. And I'm like, okay, well, clearly we know why. It's because Jay is black. So that's what I'm going along with for the episode. So we get further along in the episode, and it takes a lot to shock the fuck out of me. Is that fair to say?
I think it is. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't get shooketh very easily. But when I tell you I was fucking shook to my core, so that is when Pamela reveals that Jay is a transitioning female to male. What? You cannot tell me this person was not born a man. Like, this is one of the best transitionings I've ever seen in my entire life. Like, sometimes you kind of know, like certain things you're like, oh, okay, I can see it. Especially when someone has told you, I just can't see it.
It's as good as who's the person on?
From Love During Lockup, we had Brittany and Key Rock.
Key Rock. Oh, yeah. It's a Key Rock.
Yes, it is. I'm telling you, someone could have offered me $12 million, and I'd still be 1,000 there sitting right here talking to y'all for free. Because I was like, bitch, goddamn well why these Mexican people are not coming to they are Catholic, they're Hispanic. So, of course, they're traditional Hispanic. They're not going to be very accepting of this. Like, why did she played us for pickles? When she's like, I just don't understand why my family doesn't. Bitch, you know goddamn why. You know exactly why they are not comfortable with your relationship. Now, I don't agree with how her parents feel at all. Nope. Period, point blank. But it was just that they had us really going on. They had us questioning every single thing until we found out. I really was like, okay, it's because he's black. I'm like, that's fucked up. But clearly it has to be because he's black, because it's not like she was a normie, and she decided to date someone with this brittle bone disease. Then we could have been like, okay, maybe it's that they don't quite understand the dynamics, which that would be fucked up too,
Well, maybe it was the parents thinking, well, I don't want her to be, with someone just like her, and they have children, which I'm not sure
I thought about that as well. I was like, well, maybe they're like two disabled people, two people with this disease. We saw how hard it was raising her, all the trials and tribulations, all the worrying about, because I think Pamela was not supposed to survive past year 1. Right. So all the medication, all the surgery, all the doctor's visits. Why would our daughter choose to be with someone who has the same disability? Therefore, they will produce a child that has the same, which would be different because she had two, normal parents.
Right.
Who were able to do this. Yep. They're probably thinking, now This is what we think they're thinking, okay?
Oh, yeah.
This is
Oh,
what
yeah.
we think
Yeah.
they're thinking. They're thinking, how will they be able to take care of a child if this child has the same disability that they
Well,
have?
even how would they be able to take care of a normal child?
That too.
Let's say they tried to adopt and they could, if she couldn't have a child.
Yeah.
Then you're like two people who are in a wheelchair whose bones break.
Very,
if
very,
you,
very
if you
easy.
breathe on them wrong.
Yeah, I mean, can you
That's-
imagine them having a normal sized child
No.
and they're trying to tell their fucking 3-year-old who is bigger than both of them right now what to do? Man, that they're shut the fuck up before I sneeze and break two of your motherfucking ribs. You know what I mean? Because that's how brittle their body is.
I mean, they have to have somebody to pick up the baby, carry it around.
Yeah, because they
give it to
wouldn't
them.
be able to. So this is what we're going through all these scenarios of why her parents are not okay with this relationship, and then she drops the bomb. Oh, it's because Jay is transitioning. That would be the reason, Pamela.
Yep.
Like
There we go.
that is most definitely, and he's black. Girl, you trying to put your parents in the grave early because this is way too much. Now Jay comes from he's an only child. He comes from, they seem pretty well to do off.
They do.
They're very supportive of their son. I don't know if they're 100% supportive of
The relationship.
the relationship, not because of any of those other things. It's because of Pamela. Because as the season goes on, I'm like, this bitch really thinks she is something. And she is so fucking jealous. She really, on the show and in real life, thinks that every woman who sees Jay wants Jay. To the point, if you are a woman and you say something on Jay's TikTok page, she herself will delete your comment and block you. I'm gonna tell you something, Pamela. I don't know a lot of things. I don't.
I'm a simple woman.
I'm a simple
From a simple
woman
time.
from a simple town, simple times. I don't know a lot, but it's one thing I do know. Don't nobody but you want Jay. And it has nothing to do with his disability. It just has to do with his face. Like, that is a Guillermo del Toro creature sitting in that chair.
They both are. Let's be
Him
honest.
more so. He really, is, I mean, I like him. His personality is very charming. He's very, very, very charming.
Yes.
But this is not the face when I dream of my dream man late at night.
Nope.
That ain't the face. That is not it. I mean, they even got into a fight because he went to go see a personal trainer who was a female, and they posted a picture and he said something like, either he said it or the trainer said it, can't get to wait to know you better, can't wait to keep working with you. And this bitch went off. I'm like, girl, did you not see some of the bodies in the background of that gym photo? I'm thinking in my head, if the trainer wanted to pick out somebody, she gonna pick out somebody who she can ride and not break his legs. But that's just me. I could be completely wrong. Please don't judge me. This is just, you never know who you fall in love with.
Yeah. Now think about when we watched all the Little Women shows.
Yeah.
Every single parent was so worried about them being with somebody who was into little people fetishes. Like that was a thing.
But this is not a little person.
Well,
This
they're
person
not
is
big.
smaller than a little person.
Well, that's all the sexier could be.
Okay. I mean, if that's what you like, that's what you
I'm
like.
saying, there really is someone for everyone.
And I think they found each other.
Have you ever seen pictures of Jay when he was still
woman?
presenting as a
Yeah.
woman?
Hmm.
She's cute. I mean, for what, you know.
I think being a man fits him more.
I think so too.
I really do. Like, it almost seemed odd to see him when he was female.
Yeah.
I was like, wow. Okay. And that could be because we saw him as male first.
That's how it started.
You know what I mean? So it seemed different when we saw him as female. But I don't know if he's going to do the full transition or not. I don't even know, like, medically, if they can do the full transition.
That's a really good question.
I don't know.
Knows?
But I tell you what, it's a cute show. It's a good watch. I love Jay's dad because Jay's dad tells it like it is. He gives 0 fucks. Tears don't work on him. None of this. He does not care. I like him a lot. So
he seems to be the kind of dad who you can tell has grown up with so much, trauma, I guess, because of your child,
your only child, not just your child, your only child.
You could tell that they've been through so much bad stuff.
Yeah,
like this little
nothing
stuff,
really phases him.
Yeah,
nothing.
Their perspective is like really good.
Yeah, and it bothers Pamela a lot because she wants them to be dramatic about everything like she is. But also on the flip side, I feel like she says stuff undercover that she wouldn't mind if Jay wasn't close to his parents
anymore.
Of
course, yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's because of her family, and I think that's fucked up.
It is fucked up.
You know what I mean? So, so if you're looking for a new show to watch, Jay and Pamela. Also, I wanted to say that if you are, we love going to the movies. It's fair to say we go to the movies damn near every week or every other week or at least a few times a month, which would be like every week.
Pretty much.
2 movies that we have recently seen. No, I'll say 3 movies that we've recently seen that were actually, 2 of them were surprisingly good. One of them we knew was going to be good, and it totally was. So, Death of a Unicorn, which stars Paul Rudd, who is a fucking living vampire, because the man just does not age, and Jenna Ortega. This movie, it looks like it's a cornball of a film, but it is so good. Yes, there are real unicorns in here, but you ain't never seen no motherfucking unicorns like these right here. They got a little thug in them, thug.
They're pissed.
They are pissed. So it is funny. It is horror. There's lots of gore in it. It's a pretty good storyline. So most definitely check it out. The second one that was surprisingly good was it Until Dawn?
Until Dawn, yeah.
Which is based off of a video game.
Yep.
And when movies are based off a video game, you just kind of don't know.
Sometimes, yeah.
But this one was actually pretty good. I have to say, it was very gory. If you're into horror, you will like it. It is basically these teenagers, who are college students, are in this small town, and there's like, I don't know if it's kind of like, it seems like it's a curse, but it's not necessarily a curse. And they get killed over and over and over again every single day. And every day they have to figure out a way to not get killed to survive the 24-hour time period that they have.
Right.
Really, like I said, it was surprisingly good. What was not surprisingly good was Sinners. It had Michael B. Jordan in 2 roles. But let's say it didn't have Michael B. Jordan. Wouldn't be as fine. But it would still be a good movie. The storyline was great. This is what is his name? Robert Coogler film, who has done some of the Black Panther. I don't know if he did both Black Panthers or just the Wakanda Forever one. Creed, which he obviously loves the fuck out of Michael B. Jordan. Look, he found it. He said, this dude has the Midas touch. He's going to be in all of my films. So Sinners is really good. It's one of those that you watch it, and then you see like some of the TikToks and the reviews and things that you missed, and you want to go see it again with the new knowledge that you have. So it is a good movie. If you're going there expecting it to be a vampire movie, don't, because vampires are totally secondary to everything else that is going on. Okay, so moving along, Janelle of Teen Mom fame, guess what she had to do?
Oh, I'm sure something stupid.
She had to once again call the cops on her son Jace.
Oh boy. Because
he was tearing up things in her house. He was yelling at her, bitch, didn't you do the same goddamn thing to Barb? Like, so you're upset with him because he's behaving just like you, but actually he has one-upped you because he didn't have a kid at 16 like you did, and a child that you abandoned. So she calls the police. They get there. Jace is not there because this child is forever running away. And she actually tells the police officers to put him on a 5150 hold. Mm-hmm. Okay, you can't do that unless like they have threatened to hurt themselves or to hurt another person.
Right.
Tearing every motherfucking thing up in your house, he gets mad. He gets mad. Let the boy be mad. You know what I mean? So by the time the cops got there, of course, Jace was not there. You literally can see this child just breaking down, okay? Because he was making all these social media posts. You know when you can tell a person's about to fucking crash out? Mm-hmm. All of his social media posts were just almost a cry for help. And if you notice when a person posts a lot, like no one should make posts like 3 or 4 posts a day.
Right.
Yeah, to me, that is a sign of something is not right in this person's life. So he was posting like that. Then this incident happened, and then all the posts were gone. But, you know, he's running away. No, his mom doesn't know what it is, but that doesn't mean, hey, when a new day comes to calling, that means it's time for day drinking, night drinking, posting on her OnlyFans page like a real concerned mom would do. Yeah, she's just a fucking horrible human being. She really, really is. Disgusting. All right, so in other Teen Mom news, so we have all watched Tyler and Caitlyn and their forever brother-sister trauma bonding that they have. Like, this is like the worst case of trauma bonding I've ever seen in my entire life. It is these two. You can tell they don't like each other. I don't think they're sexually attracted to one another. I think Tyler is only there because I think he said this. He fears that, you know, Caitlyn will probably kill herself. That is just how bad it is, you know. So they have been on this whole big thing because the daughter that they gave up for adoption when they were 16, her parents, because the people who adopted her or her parents, have stopped doing like their yearly visit with Tyler and Caitlyn. Okay. So Tyler and Caitlyn have been bashing these people, how horrible they are. They're keeping their child away from them. And we're all like, wait a minute now. It was a privilege and an honor for them to even let you see her once a year. It was a privilege and an honor for them to even give you life updates because they didn't have to, because it wasn't like an open adoption.
Right.
They were like, yeah, but we'll still do this. And so they're like, we don't understand, you know, they've blocked us. We don't understand what we did. What did we do? We made a mistake. They're the worst parents, or this, and that. And then I'm like, this is another case of with like Jay and Pamela. You really, really don't know what you possibly could have done to make them not want you to be around Carly anymore.
Huge mystery.
How about the fact that we saw Tyler's booty hole all over OnlyFans? Let's start there.
Sure did.
How about all the dick pics of Tyler on OnlyFans?
Yep.
I'm thinking, but this is just me, and I'm a simple woman.
From a simple time.
From a simple town. I'm thinking that these church-going people, not just church-going people, these are active church members, just don't want to be associated with that. Okay? Because when I say we saw Tyler's booty hole, I'm talking about bent over, opened up the ass cheeks so you can see all of his butthole in all of its glory. I'm thinking that may have been the thing in all its glory.
In all its glory.
I'm thinking that may have been the thing that made them say, you know what? We may need to cut off all ties with these people because something ain't right. Or, I don't know, they watched all the episodes of Teen Mom and all this fucking trauma bonding, this having to go away to this rehab, that rehab. Like, they don't want to be associated with that.
Like, you don't have to go look very far. Like, you don't have to go all the way to butthole to realize how fucked up these people are.
Yeah, and their daughter is a teenager. You know, she's at those, you know how teenage girls are, you know.
Yeah.
And they just, and it could be that she doesn't want to be associated with that anymore because I don't know how fucking embarrassing. And so, you know, you've got them crying that now they started a podcast all about adoption, but only want things from their perspective. And like, Carly's parents have always said, we don't want her picture to be out there.
Right.
When they did film with MTV, they always blurred out her face or filmed her from the back. But here recently, someone has been posting videos of Carly while she's at church singing. Okay, so she does solos at church. Her mom plays the violin at church. These are not the type of people that want to be associated with booty hole porn.
No.
They don't.
Nope.
They just really, really don't. So I don't know if there are any honest people in Kate and Tyler's life that may just want to let them know, hey, hi, how y'all doing? This right here, here's the picture. Here's Exhibit A or Exhibit O, because here's Tyler's butthole. I'm thinking this is why Clara's parents just don't want to fuck with y'all anymore. And who can blame them?
True.
These are church-going people. Not saying that church-going people are innocent, but they have a certain reputation, and it don't include booty holes. Well, it might include booty holes, but it don't include booty holes being on OnlyFans for all the world to see.
Yeah.
So when we get back, I'm so excited. I will have my interview with the Stacey Keenan. You may know her from Step by Step, but she has a long resume of fantastic acting that she did as a child. I get to interview her, and then we get to hear about her podcast called Keenan and Lakin Give You Deja Vu. We'll be right back.
The Libra Lounge with Keisha. The Libra Lounge with Keisha.
Welcome back to the Libra Lounge with Keisha podcast. I have a very special guest here with me. You guys, I mean, if you're, I'm 45. So if you're in my age group, you know her, you have seen her. It is Stacey Keenan. Is it Keenan? That's how I've always pronounced it.
Keenan, yeah, that's right.
Okay, so I have had talks with myself ever since you said that you would do the interview. And I'm like, I'm not going to get in front of her and sing the theme song to Step by Step.
Why not? I love that.
I have been getting it out of my system for a week now. I'm like, I'm not going to be that person. Soon as I see her, I just start step by step. But
day by
day. Yes. The first time when Mary Payne and I were recording, and she was telling me that you guys mentioned us on your podcast, I was like, holy shit, boss. And I start singing the song, and she's all like, okay. And I'm like, this is TGI Friday. It just brought back a flush of childhood memories. You know what I mean? When kids like to stay home on Friday nights because there was TV to watch at home and all that good stuff. So I'm super excited.
I am a huge fan of yours and Mary Payne, and I love every Monday, Misdemeanor Monday. I am there. And, as I told Mary Payne, I don't even listen or watch Lalu anymore because it just got so hard to find it. Yeah. And then the episodes are all messed up. You can't find what season you're on or what episode you're on. So I don't even watch the show anymore, but I just listen to you two and watch you two on the little bitty Spotify video.
That's so funny because we get a lot of people who say, we don't watch the show. We just listen to you guys. And it's always kind of like a mind fuck to me because I never actually think about people are listening to us when we're just talking.
Yes, that is so easy to do. I mean, Christine, my co-host is Christine Lakin on our podcast, which is Keenan and Lakin Give You Deja Vu, where we recap step by step, right?
Right.
And we say it's so, and I've never watched the show before, so I'm watching it for the very first time.
Wow.
Yeah, to do the recaps and to do the podcast. And, we were just in a little bubble. We didn't, it's very easy to forget that anyone is watching the show.
Right.
And now having a podcast, same thing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just weird. And then people will comment. I'm like, oh, you guys really do listen to the show. But let me get all into your business because I'm a nosy person.
I love it.
So at what age did you discover that you had a desire to entertain people?
I don't know if I discovered it. I was just a little kid. I was 4 years old and I was always singing and dancing everywhere we went and putting on a show. So my mom figured, I needed some kind of outlet for that. So she sent my sister and I, we were living outside of Philadelphia in Pennsylvania. And she sent us, we lived in a town called King of Prussia. And she sent us to the Queen of Prussia Charm School. Because
a charm school. Wow.
I know. I guess we were going to learn how to be charming at age 4.
I need to go there now. Is it still open?
Yeah, it was very antiquated. I mean, I guess the whole point was they had singing lessons and tap dancing and all that stuff, but they also made you walk with a book on your head and, taught you to be a lady or something, I guess, taught you how to be a queen of Prussia. So they would put on recitals, for these poor beleaguered parents to come watch the routine at the end of the term or whatever it was. And there was an agent from Philadelphia who came to this recital. So
wow.
Yeah. So she started representing my sister and I, and then we got an agent in New York City. So then we were taking the train to New York all the time and auditioning in New York. And then we were going up there to audition and just working so much that eventually we just moved to New York City. And then, yeah.
So that's kind of goes into my next question, because we always hear about, child stars, and in my head, I'm like, how were their parents able to do this? Like, how did your parents do it? Like, okay, my girls are talented, we're going to pack up and move. Like, how do you accommodate like their career and having another child? Like, how is that done?
Well, in our case, it's kind of it's a bit of a tale, but,
Okay.
When my parents got married, my dad was very successful. He was
Okay.
ad men. He was an ad man. He started an ad agency with some partners, and
Okay.
they were really, really successful. They just blew up overnight, and getting these big accounts and, jet setting around and all this. But then after I was born, when I was about 2, my dad had a mental break for the first time
Oh, wow.
in his life. And then he never recovered from that. He didn't want to get treated for it. He just was in denial for the rest of his entire life that anything was wrong with him. He just didn't want to accept that he had a mental illness. And so, eventually after years of begging and pleading and him going to jail and going to, being put on involuntary psych holds and all this craziness, everybody just, had to move on, so his partners voted him out of his firm. And, my mom went from all of this, fancy life to
lifestyle. Yeah.
2 little kids on her own. She hadn't been working. She didn't finish college. So all of a sudden, she goes from ballet and horseback riding. I mean, my sister had a horse, it was like that.
Yeah.
To all of a sudden, she's got to support these kids on her own. So, my mom didn't have a big career to leave behind. It was just, every man on deck, everybody working, everybody trying to get us through, because, we were on welfare, we had food stamps. I mean, it was really bad, because my dad also, once that all happened, he just spent so much money. And my mom, everything was in both of their names. So when she finally took us and left, she had all of his debt. So she wasn't even at zero. She was below zero.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's scary for your mom to, having to have a drastic lifestyle change is scary.
I cannot imagine. Imagine. I don't think she ever got over it. I don't think she ever forgave my dad. I think, she never dated anyone again. I think he killed her.
Ruined it. Yeah.
She's
my mom's kind of like, I'm never gonna. Oh, well, there we go. I was just about to say, my mom's like, I'm never getting married again. She's also a Capricorn.
Yeah, and for a Capricorn especially, I mean, that's rough for anybody, but for a Capricorn to have that loss of stability,
Yeah.
So it was easy for us. We were circus people at this point. What did it matter? We just went to New York, and we couldn't afford to live in New York, but my mom had a first cousin who was a dancer there and had a dance company, and he lived in a terrible, scary neighborhood, but that's what we could afford to do. His apartment, it was a scary neighborhood, but his apartment was big. So he just very generously allowed us to move in and live there. And we just kept auditioning and kept working and kept, just trying to pay the bills.
Like, who would have thought? You know what I mean? I would have never known that that's what you guys were going through when you were starting your career off at all. Like, you assume when you see a child star, their parents must be some kind of rich, because they're able to like fly their kids here and there for all of these auditions and still, pay the bills at home. That's just what us normies assume.
I can see that. But, in my experience, most kids in the business have a very similar situation. The family really needs the money. Everybody has to work. They're just trying to survive. I mean, I can think of, and I always knew which ones they were. I could always.
Oh, you could spot them out.
Yeah, or you just heard like, oh, so-and-so's dad, owns a car dealership or something. And it was like, okay, wow, they don't even need to do this. They're doing this for fun. And I can think of one or two. It was very rare. It was mostly people who really needed the money. And it was always, it's that vibe.
So yeah, you guys were kind of helping to support the family in a way.
Yeah, everybody worked. My sister is 4.5 years older, and she did a lot of print work. She was very tiny for her age, so she could be mature and follow directions and do what everybody wanted, but look younger.
Still look younger,
Yeah. So, and she wore a 6X until she was like 12 or something. She was just very tiny.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So she did a lot of print, and then I did print as well, and I did print with her. Sometimes they want it to look like sisters or whatever.
Right. Of course.
But then I did a lot of jingle singing in New York, and that was really good, constant work, good money, keep that money going. And theater, and then it just kind of kept going from there. And then eventually, the good jobs were in LA, they would audition people in New York, but it was always some kid in LA who got the good gig, the series or the movie or like the big stuff. So eventually we decided to just move out here. It kind of coincided with my mom's first cousin that we were living with. He was, this is sad and I don't know why I'm getting, sad with this, but he was getting sick. He had AIDS, and he was starting to, this was the late 80s, so he was going to start to show, the illness that he was had.
Sick.
So he wrote my mom a letter saying, I'm sorry, but you have to get the kids out of here because this is about to get bad, So we left, we went out, came out here, and, came for pilot season. And then I got my two dads that pilot season.
So, okay. Do you have any friends in the industry? Like when you were little, were any of your good friends in the industry, and do you still have those friends now?
I do. Yeah. It's a very small world out here. Everybody.
That's what I've heard.
Yeah. It's a lot smaller than people might think. And if you don't know a certain person, people who know them at least. You know what I mean? So my best friend that I met as soon as on the set of My Two Dads filming the pilot is Devin Odessa. She was on My So-Called Life.
Okay.
Beautiful actress.
We know her. Yes.
Yeah, we've been
justice for My So-Called Life. I was one of those kids who wrote the petition to MTV.
You do.
Keep it on. It was devastating when the show got canceled, and we're just like left there just hanging like, so what's going on with Jordan Catalano? Like, are we just not gonna find out? So that's really cool that you guys are friends.
Oh yeah, we've been best friends for 30 plus years now. But yeah, I couldn't agree more. I absolutely loved that show, and Devin was so good in it.
She was. Yes, she really was. Especially when we found out she was a little bit naughty. Her character was a little bit of a naughty girl on there. Because she was goody at first, and they were like, she knows about all the sex stuff that we just didn't know. So when we see people in the industry, it was always fascinating to me as a kid, and also as an adult, when you would find out what someone's real name was. You know what I mean? In the industry, I'm like, that's not their real name. I'm like, oh, Lil Nas X, that's not his real name. He has a government name. So tell us what your real name is and what made you change your name. And you kind of changed your name twice because you changed the spelling after you changed it.
Oh gosh. Yeah. This whole thing. Yeah. So my real name is Anastasia, and my last name is Sigorsky. So, at the time when we started working in the 80s, it was not cool to have a name like that. There was no Benicio del Toro or Leonardo DiCaprio or, no, everybody was, Sarah Palmer or whatever like that.
Right.
So, any representation that we ever had, there was no possibility of me using that name. So, Stacy was something that my family called me from the time I was born. Anastasia is a lot of name for an infant. No one's calling the baby Anastasia,
Right.
So it was Stacy right away. And so we just used Stacy, and then, Sigorsky, forget about it. There's absolutely
just
not.
Can't do it.
Yeah, right. So my middle name is Love. So we used Stacy Love for a while. That was always my name until I got my two dads. And the creator of that show, Michael Jacobs, said Stacy Love sounded like a stripper.
Now I'll take a sip.
It sounded like a stripper, which it's one of our family names. So my mom did not appreciate that comment because
that it was a stripper, sounded like a stripper name.
Yeah, I mean, my grandmother's name was Kitty Love. You know what I'm saying? She was not a stripper, and even if she was, so what? But
that's funny.
So that had to go. So then we just came up with Keenan. Keen is another family name, but Stacy Keen sounded like Stacy Keach or Peachy Keen. It just, the rhythm, it just was off.
Right.
So we just added a syllable to make it Keenan, to kind of just balance that out a little bit. So for a while it was Stacy Love Keenan. And then it was but then there was Jennifer Love Hewitt.
Love Hewitt. Yes.
Yep. So then eventually we got rid of the L, and then it was always Stacy with a Y, always. But then when the show started, my mom said, oh, well, don't you think it would be cute to spell it with an I, and you could put a little heart,
on top of it. Yeah.
And I was 11, so I thought that was fine, and it was very 80s. But then pretty soon,
I was about to say that is so 80s.
It is so 80s.
It is.
But then pretty shortly, by my teenage years, I started hating that spelling, and I've hated it ever since. So
really?
Yes. Come on, Stacy with an I. I'm sorry if that's how you spell it out there, but it was never my name. It was all made up.
Yeah.
In my case.
Yeah, that's true.
So I just started spelling it with a Y. So there's still confusion online. It's spelled with an I, with a Y. No one knows anymore, but I prefer the Y.
Okay, so we're gonna stick with the Y. Okay. Describe my next two questions kind of go together a little bit, because the first time that I remember seeing you was in the movie Lisa, but that was not your first acting experience.
No, I had done stuff in New York. I did, you remember in the 80s, they used to do those big mini series, and they would spend millions of dollars on these things. They'd be very glamorous, So I did, it was a Judith Krantz novel called I'll Take Manhattan. And I played Valerie Bertinelli's daughter.
That was huge back then.
That was
a big name.
Oh, it was amazing. We shot at Trump Tower in New York, and, I was in limousines and, dressed up fancy and all this great stuff. And, we went to Toronto and shot up there with all these glamorous parties. It was amazing. So I had done stuff. I had just never done series, television until I did My Two Dads. And then Lisa, I booked Lisa after the first full season of My Two Dads.
Now, looking back as an adult, I'm like, my little bitty ass should not have been watching Lisa. I'm like, you. So it's weird because my husband and I will see things like from the 80s, and we're like, our parents just didn't give a shit about us. Like, they were chain smoking in front of us. They were letting us watch things like this. Like, we just went and saw Labyrinth last week. They had this big thing where you can watch the movie, and there's a live band there playing David Bowie's music. And we walked away. We're like, this is about kidnapping. He was in love with a 16-year-old girl. There's so many things wrong in this. Yet we were watching that like over and over again as children. And the same with Lisa. I'm like, Lisa was a bad influence. She encouraged us to talk to older guys. Yeah. She encouraged us to like steal an identity, like all of these things. But I was totally fascinated. I can't tell you how many times I've seen that movie. So how did all that come about? Yeah, I loved that movie so much. Hi, Guy.
Well, thank you. I auditioned for it, and then they kept calling me back. I was 13 years old. I had done feature films before, but only as like an extra, Okay. I had never had an actual part in a movie, really, I don't think. So they just kept calling me back. It was Gary Sherman, the director, and Frankie Blondes, the producer. And I just kept going back. And then, it was just very intense auditions. I think they just really wanted to know, could I scream and cry and be afraid and all these things. And so then I booked the part, and I just, I felt a ton of pressure. I just thought, oh my God, I'm the title character. This is an NDMUA movie. It's a real movie. And if I can't do this stuff, I'm going to ruin the movie and it will be my fault,
That's a lot for a 13-year-old to feel that kind of pressure.
Yeah. And I had little acting classes, like in some lady's living room outside of Philadelphia somewhere, but I didn't have any real technique. I had no idea what I was doing. I wasn't sure I was going to be able to cry when they needed me to cry and all this stuff. So I was very freaked out. It was a very intense, and the movie, if you haven't seen the movie, it's a serial killer movie. And
yeah.
And it was a very, maybe not for everybody, but for me, it was a very dark, intense.
It was dark
feeling on that set. It was very, very intense. And D.W. Moffat played the serial killer in this thing. And I don't know if you know this, but he's 6'5". Okay.
Oh no.
And I'm 5'3", and I was 5'3" then, but I'm 13 years old, and his technique at that time was to stay in character.
Oh, so he never was like, cut, hey Stacy, do you want an ice cream or something like? He wasn't that.
I think he was trying to figure out, how does this guy navigate his life? Because we see Richard in the movie, he works, he has a job, he's a maitre d' at a restaurant, or he manages a restaurant, so he has to deal with people. But then at night he goes out and murders women in this insane ritualistic kind of way. So I think he was trying to figure out, as the actor, how does this man navigate in life? So, he wasn't walking around with a butcher knife between steaks, but he had this.
That would have been odd.
He was living as that guy. And interacting with me as that character would in between scenes.
No warm and fuzzies or anything like that. Like,
he was very nice, but he was nice as a serial killer. He would, he was like, kind of acting like that guy would act, kind of watching, grooming, weird. And it was not him, but he wasn't him the entire shoot. He was in character the entire time.
Wow. So, thinking back as a kid watching that movie, as an adult, I can say that it was dark. And I guess as a kid, it's like, ooh, that got kind of scary. But you were like so cool. You wore the school uniform. I was going to Catholic school. I'm like, oh, I identify. You had the best hair. And you were just like this really, really cool girl. And it's like, I want to be her. How could I be like that? So you did your big one in the movie, Lisa, because I was highly impressed.
Oh, wow.
With that.
Well, thank you. And, we are on our podcast we wrapped up season 2. We're about to start recapping season 3 coming up this spring. But in between, we are covering Lisa. Christine is going to recap it, and then I'm going to talk about, the behind the scenes and more of what went on. So, and I watched it for
listen to that.
Okay, I have never seen the movie. I saw it as a kid, but I hadn't seen it since I was maybe 15. So I watched it for the first time.
I think I watched it enough for the both of us. And you have to think about it. This is in the 80s, so it's not like you could DVR something and then watch it again. I would have to wait until it came back on. And I'm like, Lisa's on. I can't go anywhere. So, okay. So during this time when, you're a kid, but you're also a professional actor, who did you look to? Who were you looking up to in the entertainment industry? Like, oh my gosh, I just saw Meryl Streep. I love her so much. Or, who did you have a crush on during that time?
I loved all of, I was like everybody. I loved Corey Haim. I thought he was the cutest boy in the whole world. I thought River Phoenix was a god descended from heaven.
He was.
And such a brilliant actor as well.
Yep.
I was in love with Johnny Depp for a long time. Acting wise, Jack Nicholson, I thought, was the pinnacle, the best actor. And that was, I was probably 13 years old, and he was who I looked up to as just I loved his style and his confidence,
Right.
And then I actually got to meet him and Tom Cruise and Kevin Bacon and Demi Moore on the set of A Few Good Men, because they were shooting that on a stage right next door. And our tutor, our studio teacher, she knew the studio teacher that was working over there. So she brought us over and we got to meet all them. And I couldn't believe I was meeting Jack Nicholson, but he was a little drunk, but I didn't care,
Jack drunk?
Right. And then later as an adult, I saw him at a strip club in Atlanta. And he had his sunglasses on and he was just standing in a circle of naked women that were all just dancing around him. And I thought, yeah, this all tracks.
Yeah. And I'm sure those strippers had a very good evening. They went home and are like, look how much money I made because Jack Nicholson came to the club tonight. So that's funny that you saw him again later on in the strip club. Okay. So My Two Dads comes out. And again, I'm looking at things now as an adult. Back then I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. She has two dads. So as an adult, I'm like, whoa, that show had a little girl who lived with two dads. But here's the kicker. It was like, but her mom was kind of a hoe. Her mom didn't know who the baby daddy was. And that's how I look at it now. So what was the whole vibe back then about a girl living with these two guys? Because some people would, people are, they're like, or the guy's gay, or the guy's this, or they're mistreating this child. Like there's so many stigmas behind that. So what was like the overall vibe that everyone got from the show, including like critics? What did they think about it? Just the whole concept of it.
As I recall, the critics were not really into it. They didn't really like the show. They didn't like the premise. They just weren't into it at all.
Right.
Unfortunately. And yeah, I remember, when I was very first being recognized by people once the show came out, people just didn't get it. They just wanted to know, well, are they gay?
Yeah.
Or why don't they just get a blood test and find out,
Right.
there wasn't DNA back then. This is the late 80s.
Yeah.
But, why don't they just get a blood test and figure out who the dad was? But that was all covered at the very beginning of the series because the mom, the whole point was she loved both of these men. They were both the love of her life. And then, of course, they end up fighting over her and their friendship ends. So when she knows that she's dying, her whole dying wish is for them to come back together and raise this child together as a family. And because she wanted them to heal their friendship and she didn't want them to find out who the father was because she wanted them to raise the child together and be a family.
Right.
Yes.
Nowadays, that's a nothing burger. You know what I mean? Like, it would be nothing for there to be a television show and here's this kid and there's like 5 parents in the house and no one knows like who the kid's parents are. That's like an average day. But back then, that was a pretty huge deal to have a show like that. Whereas now you have shows about, all kinds of couples and raising kids and, nowadays that could come on and no one would blink an eye.
True. Yes, absolutely true. It was innovative at the time. My mom and my sister and I, we thought the concept, we loved it. We thought it was very cool and, well written. Now, Keisha, I'm sorry, I'm going to have to grab a power cord. I thought I had plenty of juice here, but let me just grab a cord. I'm running low. I'll
no problem at all. Okay.
hopefully this is the right one. Okay. We're all set. Sorry about that.
No problem at all. I was sitting here going through Instagram. I don't know if you watch any of the 90 Day Fiance shows or anything like that.
Listen, because of people like you and Mary Payne and Kimberly and the reality gays, I don't even know who these people are. I don't know what they look like. I have no idea. And I still listen to the recaps. So I should be.
It's so funny because like we just like live that world, and like we'll do quotes from shows and people are like, what the fuck, or like what, like so I get it. No one else in like my real life watches the shows that I watch. No one.
Well, yeah, Love After Lockup. No one seemed to have even heard of that show. And then, yeah, because of Mary Payne, because she's a drug dealer. She
Yes,
got me
she
watching
is.
Baldwin's and The Valley now. It's really gotten bad now.
It you know what, sometimes people will ask me like, okay, so you watch so much television because you have to, does it like take away from the show? Like sometimes it does. Like if there's a show that we're recapping, I usually have to watch it twice, once for like the enjoyment of it, and then the second time to like, okay, I gotta remember this stuff. But yeah, we watch some weird shit, and we like to watch a lot of prison shows too. Like you say weird and we're all over it. So okay, let's get back into it. So after My Two Dads, how did you land the role as Dana on Step by Step?
So after My Two Dads, I booked a show called Going Places. It was very short-lived. It had
I
Alan
don't remember
Ruck
that
and
one.
no, it was on TGIF, I believe, but it was Alan Ruck, from Succession, and Heather Locklear, and it was a bunch of single people living together in a house, kind of like Friends vibe. And then I was literally
Okay,
the girl next door. I would just pop over, this teenage girl and whatever. But
I missed that one.
so did everyone. Yeah. It didn't really work, but it was produced by Miller Boyette, who produced Step by Step. So that show was
Okay,
canceled after one season. And I was only recurring on that show. I wasn't, in every episode. But then once that was canceled, they offered me the part of Dana.
okay,
Yeah.
okay. So what was it like on set? Because there were a lot of kids on there. You've got, these two parents who are celebrities in their own right, Patrick Duffy and Suzanne Summers. So how was that?
It was just an incredibly warm, happy environment. Miller
Okay.
Boyette, they are some of the nicest producers. You can ask anybody
Hmm.
out here in Hollywood. They are not the exploitative, harsh
Okay.
type. They already had their success. They produced Happy
Hmm.
Days.
Okay.
The sun was not rising and setting on whether or not this show made it. They had already made it
Right.
many, many, many times over. The pressure was off
Hmm.
of them. So they were
Okay.
very relaxed, very easygoing with everything, very nice. And,
Hmm.
they wanted to work with nice people. So they hired nice people. And Suzanne and Patrick so it came from the top, but then once you got to Suzanne and Patrick, they were also very fun, funny, warm, nice. They weren't annoyed by having all these kids around. They wanted to work with kids.
Okay.
Because sometimes the adults, they're not really happy being on a kids show or a show with kids. They
Hmm.
want to deal with kids. Not them. They were totally up for it. And
Okay.
so we just, but every time I answer that question and I give that truthful answer, I just feel like people will think I don't know, trying to make it seem that way, or like, oh, everything was great. We just loved each other. But that actually was the truth.
And we don't hear that very often. It'll be years and years and years you'll hear, well, these people didn't even get along with one another. This person didn't speak to that person while they were on set. So yeah, we're used to hearing these horror stories. And in particular, we're just coming off of, I can't remember the name of the documentary, but it was about Dan Schneider, who did a lot of the Nickelodeon shows.
Quiet on
And,
set.
you have all these, yeah, you have all these kid actors that are coming out saying how they were basically abused. And then it was weird for me because as a parent, you end up watching these shows that your kid is watching. And then even after your kid stops watching, you're invested in the show. And so I would go back after I'd watched, on the set, and I would tell my husband, I'm like, I remember singing this and thought it was odd, but laughed it off because it was a kid's show. So yeah, it is interesting. Did you ever experience anything like that or close to what those kids were saying? Being a child actor.
In terms of the creepy stuff, yeah, there are creepy people that are drawn to kid actors. I think because they recognize that they're vulnerable. Why else
Of
are they
course.
acting? Why are they working? It's because they're vulnerable in some way, probably. The
Mhm.
family, there's something going on. So yeah, there was always, there was many times where it's like there's this creepy photographer, and he wants, we're shooting for some teen magazine, but he wants this weird pose, or he's asking for, no shoes on, or just
Yeah.
weird, or wear this outfit and stuff. And my mom was very tough and very strict,
Mhm.
and she was not afraid to just cut somebody down. She was,
Good.
everyone was afraid of my mom. So you
Good.
just, and she was there, she wasn't off
Mhm.
somewhere else. She was very present and very vigilant with stuff. But I mean, there were tons of creepy people. Not on Step by Step, absolutely not. I mean, we had
Mhm.
we had this kind of beautiful little safe world, where we were
Good.
all together and we felt like a family. But, My Two Dads was, not creepy in any way, but it was very, very, very high pressure. Michael Jacobs, the
Mhm.
producer, he was new. He was not like Miller Boyette. He was still, proving himself. I mean, he had shows before that had worked, but it was still early on in his career where he's still trying to establish himself. And, so
Right.
it was high pressure, and the actors, the adults were under so much pressure, and that, as a
Mhm.
kid, that was very tough. I'd never done series television. I didn't know how to do it. So I was having to learn, how do you do your blocking, and how do you, not, step into someone else's light, and
Mhm.
act and do all this stuff. And, Michael had a very, very specific idea of exactly what he wanted. So I was always just
Mhm.
trying to do that, and it was tough.
Right. So on the set of Step by Step, there's so many kids. Like, was there flirting? Did anyone date? Was there anything like that? Because I, of course, had a crush on, one of the characters.
Oh yeah, who was that?
I can't remember what his name was, but like in real life, it's Sasha Mitchell.
Yes, Cody. Yeah, Sasha Mitchell, of course.
Yeah, I told Mary Payne, I said, if there was ever a show that had a cute boy on it who probably did bad things in real life, that was the boy I had a crush on. And so was the case with this one right here. So was there any flirting or like dating or any of that kind of stuff?
Not for me, no. I don't want to tell other people's tales, but there was some
Uh-huh.
stuff that went on. There was some little flirtations and little, moments that happened. That
Mm-hmm.
that was definitely a thing. It's weird because it's like your siblings. We were together for 7 years, working together day
Mm-hmm.
in, day out. But people grow up, they change, things happen.
Of
Suddenly,
course.
you start to notice somebody that you didn't notice before.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, all
Mm-hmm.
that went on. But before I go on, I just want to say, while My Two Dads, just going back to what we were just talking about, My Two Dads was tough, but I wouldn't have had any career. I wouldn't have had the great experience that I had on Step by Step if it weren't for Michael Jacobs.
My
I
two
was
dads.
just some
Mm-hmm.
nobody kid, and he hired, he chose me for that show and for that role, and he fought for me. The network did not want me. They did not like me. They
Mm-hmm.
wanted the show recast. So after the pilot was shot, they did another huge casting call to try to replace me because the network
Oh, wow.
didn't want me. And Michael was the one saying, no, this is her. This is the one. No, 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 no. And the network was saying,
Mm-hmm.
yes, 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 we're recasting this. They brought in everybody in New York and LA, and he just kept fighting for me. And eventually he won, but so I just want to make that very clear that I'm very grateful to him for that.
So what did the network not see that he saw in you?
They thought I looked too old. I was
Okay.
11 and the character was 12, but they thought I
Mm.
just looked older or had like sort of a older vibe about me or was kind of sophisticated.
Mm.
I was too tall. I'm 5'3", but
Yeah, so that's not too tall. No, that's
but they
pretty
wanted,
small.
yeah, they wanted me to look younger, and be
Mm.
shorter, I guess. And I don't know. I think they thought I wasn't very funny or very charismatic. They just
Mm.
weren't feeling it. And Michael said, I know, she's not like da 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 da,
Right.
not
Yeah.
that type of kid, but that's what he liked about me. He described me. I was 11 years old, and I remember him saying in some interview in People magazine or something, we don't have this, funny personality kid, but Stacy is elegant.
Mhm. Yeah, I can see that. I can totally see that. Like going back through my Rolodex of watching you on shows, I think that fits. I really do. It fits big time.
Well, thank you.
So
I don't see it, but okay, Michael. An elegant
no,
11-year-old. It's kind of odd, but hey.
you were not the like giggly girl in your roles. You just weren't like that. And just thinking about it right now, it's like, no, she really wasn't like that. And you did have almost like an older vibe to you. You just did. So, in comparison to some of the other girls that we were watching on television, which a lot of them came off being like carbon copies of one another,
Hmm.
and you stood out from that.
Oh,
So,
okay.
there you go. There you go.
Interesting to know.
Straight from my mouth. And if it comes from my mouth, it must be true. So, at what age and what made you decide to step away from the business?
Gosh, it was, I think, about 2010. So I was in my 30s. After Step by Step ended, I was offered certain things. I had a holding deal, all this, but nothing ever panned out.
Mhm.
I did some stuff, but I just wasn't getting good work anymore. Yeah, and
Mhm.
especially after doing a project as great as Step by Step with having such a great environment and loving the people so much, it's hard to
Mhm.
ever have a job that good again.
Right.
And I just didn't like the work that I was getting. And so I finally
Okay.
said, after a certain number of years of sticking it out, I just said, if this is the only work I can get in this business, then I'm done. I don't want to
Right.
do this. I mean, I would do voiceover and stuff, and I've always loved voiceover, but just in terms of straight up acting, it wasn't great. So I just decided one day to go to law school. I'd always wanted to go back to school. Originally I wanted to get a PhD. I thought I might be a professor, and I was attracted to that, but it's so impractical. It takes a
Mhm.
decade to get a
Yeah.
PhD.
Yeah.
So law school is fast, it's 3 years and very practical, so many things you can do with it. And I had always loved school and I always wanted to go back anyway. So I just decided, you know what, I want to be a DA. That's what I'm interested in. So I'm going to go to law school. I'm going to, do that. And then I'm going to go be a DA. And that's what I did.
Well, that's quite impressive. That is not that is not a child actor story that we hear all of the time, because we hear some weird things. We hear, that they really go through it, but to go back to school and become a DA, maybe I need to watch some of the stuff I say on some of my podcasts now that I know you're listening.
Well, listen, I know you've done prison time. So I know.
So people used to really think that. I'm like, do you think I would make it a day in prison? Like, I'd be like, someone please break me out, break me out. Like, I would be cutting deals and telling on people. I'm like, I am not made for jail. What do you need to know? I'm a snitch. Like,
Oh,
I'm a
are you?
total snitch.
Of course, you would have people smuggling in lashes, hair.
I would. Yes, I would be that girl. Yes, because I can't see without my lashes. Like,
Of course.
I can't. Like, I need my lashes. So what is life like for you now?
So it's very different. I left. So I was a DA for 10 and a half years. I was in Riverside County, then I was in LA County, did that for 10 and a half years. I'm still a prosecutor, just for a different agency now. But I have a very, very quiet life. I work from home a lot. It's very calm.
Mm-hmm.
I go to court instead of every day, all day, like I did at the DA's office. I go to court, maybe once a month. It's very
Mm-hmm.
chill, but I still get to be a prosecutor, which I love to do, but it's a much chiller pace. And so,
Okay.
I've got my husband and my big old dog, and I work from home and then record the podcast with Christine, and
Mm-hmm.
it's nice.
So let me ask you this question. From your childhood, like, what was your favorite TV show?
Oh God. I mean, look, I am a TV addict. I am
Mm-hmm.
hooked, and I would, oh my God, I was a latchkey kid in New York, and I would come home and easily watch 8 hours of TV
Mm-hmm.
every single day. The second I got
Right.
home, the TV on, and it would just stay on until 10 o'clock at night. And I watched
Right.
everything. As a teenager, that age, I think my very favorite was Twin Peaks.
I used to watch that too. Okay. Don't laugh, but I bought the CD of the soundtrack.
I
For
think
Twin
I did
Peaks.
too. And
I love the opening song. I just love that song so. Like, this song is beautiful, and everyone's like, "Huh?" I'm like, whatever.
I couldn't agree more. Yeah, I loved that. I was so intrigued by it. It was so mysterious and
Yes.
beautiful and wistful. And,
Yes.
I love David Lynch. So that was one of my absolute favorites. But I watched everything. I used to love Falcon Crest. Remember
I
that
used to
show?
watch that too. Yep.
Loved it.
I watched it too. Yeah, yeah. I watched a lot of stuff that I'm like, how did I even know like the meaning to the words they were using
Yeah.
back then? And I'm like watching these. I was an only kid, so I watched a lot of television. I used to want to be a child actor. So
You
I
did?
was just really, oh God, yes. Yes, 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 yes. If I ever could have been anything else in life, it would have been an actress. Hands down, no questions asked. But yeah, I watched a lot of television too. It's just fascinated. And I mean, look at me now. I love watching TV. I just can't help it.
Yeah,
What are
well,
you watching now? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
so what happened? Did your parents say no, or how
They
come?
were kind of like, I mean, I did like school acting and, competitions and stuff like that. But my parents like, no, you have to like work. You have to go to school. You have to work, stuff like that. But yeah, that was like when I was in high school, that was nowhere. I was like, oh, Keisha's going to be famous. She's going to be an actress. And, I guess I'll have to take podcasting. That's as close as I may get to it. So, what are you watching now?
Well, again, thanks to Mary Payne. No thanks. I started watching The Valley,
Hmm.
and that I wish I could take it back. I wish I could not get involved
Hmm.
with the show, but now it's too
Hmm.
late because I'm completely
Yep.
hooked.
Yep.
So that is an obsession. The Baldwins, which I finished. The latest
Hmm.
season of Yellow Jackets. I watched White Lotus, of course, with the rest of the entire world.
I have not watched a single episode.
Keisha,
I know. That's what
what
everyone says.
what is going on?
So, I have a list of shows that I need to watch. Like, I haven't even started the new season of The Handmaid's Tales yet. And I'm like, I just
Same.
haven't had time to sit down and just really, really, really watch it. I haven't started watching The Last of Us either. It's out. It's like, I got to have like a couple of days where I can just sit my ass down, concentrate, and just watch these shows that I just so desperately need. So I've got a list, and White Lotus is on that list.
Yeah, you need a vacation so you can watch more TV. That's what it is,
Right.
I
Yeah.
think. Yeah, my husband and I have also been watching The Pit. We love Hacks, so we've just started the new season of Hacks.
Hmm.
The Studio, we've been watching that.
Okay.
Loving that
Not heard of
show.
that one.
It's great. It's about a studio head in Hollywood running a
Okay.
major studio. Which
Okay.
sounds like, oh well, we're gonna hate that guy, but it's really funny and fun and well done.
So, what's the latest movie that you've watched at the movie theater?
Guy and I went to see Wicked in the theater,
Okay.
and really loved that. But what kind of blew me away, and I just love so much, was The Substance.
I've not seen that.
Oh, wow. You got
Let
to
me
see
see.
it.
And we probably go to the movies 3 days a month.
That's pretty good. That's a lot. So
We
if
love the
you
movies. Yeah.
if you can still see it in the theater, I recommend seeing it in the theater. I mean, it's very hard. It's a very punishing film. It's very relentless, and it just doesn't stop.
Mhm.
I know for some people it was just too much. I loved it, and I loved what it said about women in our society.
Okay. I'm going to recommend 2 movies for you.
Please.
Here's the first one. I don't. People are not giving it the chance that it deserves. Death of a Unicorn.
Oh,
Paul Rudd is in it.
okay.
Jenna Ortega is in it. It's such a good movie. It's kooky. It's funny. It's gory as well. It's really really good. And people are like Death of a Unicorn. Like, yeah, there's real unicorns in the movie, but it is a good watch. So
Okay.
the second one is we just saw it is Sinners with Michael B. Jordan.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very good. Watch out for all. There's tons of symbolisms in the movie, but it's so good. And even if you hate the movie, you get Michael B. Jordan in 2 different roles. That's all I can say. There you go.
All
You're
right.
welcome, world. Yes. So most definitely check those out. Okay.
I will.
So now tell us about the inspiration behind Keenan and Lakin Give You Deja Vu, which is your podcast.
Yes, that is the podcast. We are realizing the name is too long. No one can say it. No one can say
I
it.
get it. I get it. I get
So
it.
we might have to trim it down to just Keenan and Lakin at some point. But names are hard, as you know. You try to pick an original name and get the website or get the Instagram handle. It's not easy, right?
It's not easy at all. No. Nope.
Mm-hmm. So, I was hearing other recap shows and other podcasts, and I'm obsessed with podcasts. I listen to my feed or my follows are, I don't know, 100 different podcasts. I mean, I listen to podcasts all day, all day, all day. And before that, it was radio. I would have the radio on in every room of the house. I always loved radio. And anytime I got to be a guest on a radio, show, I just love that medium so much. So then, I was hearing these recap podcasts of different, people that were on these shows, recapping them. And I just thought, oh, well, I've never seen this show. And I really didn't have a very good idea of what it was. It's so different to be inside of it than it is to watch it from the outside. So, and Christine and I had always been friends, for all these decades since the show. So I thought about it for a really long time before I pitched it to her. I was afraid she was going to say no and that she wouldn't want to do it. And I was just going to be devastated. So it took me a very long time to approach her with the idea, but she was really into it. And we recorded the whole first season, basically on our own in 2021. But we didn't have a producer. We didn't have anything. We just sat, in my house and recorded it. And then we just couldn't get it out there. I don't know. It was all recorded, but it needed to be edited and all that. So then Christine knew Stephen Ray Morris, a brilliant producer of My Favorite Murder, that fabulous podcast. And she knew him from before. She had worked with him before, and she approached him. And I just thought, oh, no, he's this famous podcast producer. What is he going to want to have to do with us? Forget about it. But he actually came on board as our producer, and he, edited that whole first season and got it out, and we just started going. And it's been really very wild for me to see the show. I can't believe what's going on this show.
That is so funny that you have never watched the show. I mean, Stacey, if I post a video of myself, I'm gonna if it gets 100 views, I've got 99 of them are for me. I'm gonna keep watching it. So the fact that you're just now watching step by step is blowing my mind.
Yeah, I never watched it. At the time, I just, I was a teenager and I just hated the way I looked. I hated the way I sounded.
I get it.
Didn't think I could act. I maybe didn't like what I was wearing. I just could not come close to handle, to be able to handle watching it. So.
Well, tell everyone how they can find the podcast, how they can follow you guys on social media,
Yes.
all the good stuff.
Okay, so the podcast it's long, but it's Keenan and Lakin Give You Deja Vu. We're on Spotify, we're on Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your pods. We also have a Patreon where we have video content. We have a bunch of extras on there, and that's starting to get really fun. And then on Instagram, we are at Keenan and Lakin.
Okay, so you guys must definitely have to check out the podcast. And if you've never watched Step by Step, jump on in there so you can get to where Stacy is with watching the show for the first time too, because the show was a blast. Like I said, lots of sweet memories, just thinking about, that time in my life as a kid and just how much fun it was to just sit down for good, wholesome entertainment on a Friday night. We don't have a lot of shows like that anymore at all. So this has been a total fangirl moment for me to interview you.
Same here.
Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to come and talk to little old me and for shits and giggles and all that kind of stuff. So thank you.
Oh my gosh, thank you. It is a total honor. I will be listening every Monday. I will be listening to the Libra Lounge as well. I also watch your TikToks because I want to see your hair and I want to see your lashes. I want to see your hair. I want to see your makeup. So all the, those favorites, those likes that you have include me because I'm on there watching you.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, I'm new to the ticking of the talk. It took me forever to just post a video because those people can be crazy on TikTok. I'm like, don't say nothing bad about my hair or my lashes. But then again, I was like, I don't care if you do or not. So yes, well, thank you. I appreciate that. And congratulations. And I wish the podcast lots of success. And I think the next time you have a case, I should be like co-counsel for you or whatever the correct lingo is for you.
Well,
I've got experience.
Here's the pitch that I have for you. If next time you have a very, very serious wig court, when you have some very serious litigation, when you have a wig that is just on the extreme and it is going to be a full-blown trial, maybe I can come in, I can be the prosecutor, you of course are the judge, and then maybe Mary Payne, I feel like she's the defense attorney. I feel like she's defending these wigs a lot of times.
Okay, I think we can make that happen because, man, there's nothing that we love more than a bad wig. Like I'm actually following this girl on TikTok because her wig is so atrocious. I'm fascinated by her. And I'm just like, the wig is so fucking bad. The brows are bad. The lashes are bad. But I just watch her like this. I'm just totally fascinated that with her confidence in her bad wig. I'm just like, oh.
It's amazing. I mean, I get so tired of just dealing with hair. I can't wait to get to the Dolly Parton stage where it's just a wig, where she says, people ask her what's the process of getting your hair done? She says, I don't know. I'm never there. I aspire to that.
Look, Stacey, just slap one on. If I could give you any advice, go to someone who really knows what they're doing and what they're talking about.
Okay.
Take pictures. Like, I love hair extensions. Like, I am trying to get producer James to say he's okay with me getting 26-inch long hair extensions. He's like, what are you doing? Like,
producer James, get on board with this. This is a great idea.
He doesn't care what I do, but he cares because I say, well, I want it to tickle my butt crack whenever I do my head like this. Like if I have 26-inch long extensions on, he lets me do whatever I want, but sometimes he just looks at me like, okay, girl. So,
well, and we don't have to talk about how it's going to cost 10 grand. We're not going to say that part. We're just going to brush that under the rug, right, producer James?
That's usually his biggest question is how much is it? And I'm like, does it matter? He's like, I guess not. Because I'm like, I'm getting it anyway. So, okay. Okay, so Stacey, yes, next time we have wig court, we got to call you up.
You got your prosecutor right here. I will do my research. Yes. I'm going to come in and I'm going to get that conviction, Keisha.
I'm ready for it. I am so ready for it. I'm ready to throw the book at him. So, okay, thank you so much, Stacey.
Thank you so much, Keisha.
We want to thank you guys for tuning in to our show. Also, if you did not catch it, I was on Watch What Happens Live on Bravo TV on Sunday night. I was one of the virtual callers, and I got to ask my question to the Giselle Bryant, who you guys know that is my favorite housewife. I saw her here in Houston when she was doing her 21 Shady Questions with Giselle Bryant. So if you want to check that out, you can go to Bravo, Watch What Happens Live. It is on their, let me see. It is on their Instagram page. It is also on their TikTok. And at some point, I'll post it too. So, 1,000 Pound Sisters. We're back. We're back. All right. So, we start off by seeing the infamous camel attack. That is how they open up the season premiere. And we see the camel actually did bite Amy.
Sure did.
But I think
it got a big, fat, juicy hunk of that arm.
But I think he had reasons for it. I think he was scared. I think he was trying to protect the other camels. I feel like we need to interview the camel to get the real behind this. Her badass kids probably threw something at him. But I tell you what the funniest shit was is that the camel clearly bit her arm. She's like, I don't want my hand to fall off. Bitch, it didn't bite your hand. It bit your goddamn arm. Shut up. And so then we go into the season. Let me tell you. Just when we think they can't get any trashier, we meet Amy's new boyfriend, who, if I'm not mistaken, she said was a news reporter. Well, you know what? You can be a news reporter from every rinky-dink small town. I'm sure they have news reporters in Nacogdoches.
We have some really trashy news reporters right here in Galveston County, don't we?
We sure do. So yeah, Amy's new man is a news reporter. And you guys know my recaps are never in full order, okay? So I just spit it out as I think about it. He's not Michael, which that's a good thing. From what I've seen with my eyes, which my eyes are not that great. But from what I saw, he actually seems like he has at least all his front teeth.
At least.
So that's he's employed.
We're moving up in the world.
He's not overweight, which that's different for the show.
True.
But there's something highly suspicious about him. I don't know. When she was describing like how he likes to spend lots of time with her boys, her young boys, how when she doesn't feel like doing something, he's the one taking them out. Mm-hmm. And he also wants them to move in with him, and they've only been dating 6 weeks. I feel like there's a little bit of stranger danger. I could be wrong.
Well, looking at his Instagram, which is KY Coal Miner 33, Brian Lavorne. It's a private, but the profile looks like a little boy and a girl and a dog. So
maybe those are his kids. He's 50. They may be his grandkids. I don't know.
Yeah, it could be.
But he is trying to convince Amy to get her tubes untied to have a baby with. Why would you want, who in their right mind would want to reproduce with Amy?
Okay. Follow me.
I'm going to follow you. I don't often do this.
Residuals.
From the show?
Yep.
By having a baby?
You're locked in. Spousal support. They're in Kentucky, right?
Yes. Yeah. But just when I see Amy, I just kind of think she never looks quite clean. She looks like she got in the shower and just sat there in the shower, just stood there. Didn't really get soap, didn't lather up, didn't wash her hair. She just sat in there like a 7-year-old boy whose mom said, go take a shower, and he just let the water run.
So she stands there like...
She just stands there.
Like if you spray a cow down. It doesn't sit, it doesn't play. It just
There's
sits there.
no soap involved. There's no Summer's Eve involved. There's no loofah involved. She just kind of stands there and says, eyes clean.
Like a side of beef in a drench cabinet. It's just a big hanging beef they just pour shit over.
Yeah, that's just because she just never looks all the way clean to me.
I can't stand, and I know I've said it before, but I can't stand the shape of her weird face. Her face is butthead.
Yeah.
Her face is butthead.
Kind of, sort of.
From Beavis and Butthead, it's butthead.
Yeah. So, now I do feel bad for Amy because, Amanda I'm never moving back to Kentucky. I'm going to Florida. I don't care where I move. It won't be back to Kentucky. Well, look at you now. You not only are you back in Kentucky, but you're living with Amy. Amy. Of all the siblings, you're living with Amy and her 2 boys, okay?
How far they have fallen.
Now, if you go back to last season, you will remember that Tammy was living in one of Amanda's rental houses, okay? And one of Tammy's biggest complaints was that Amanda lets her boys, who, once again, look like those 2 big things that were on Fraggle Rock, those really huge things with the big nose.
Yep.
They look like them. I can't remember what they're called because it was probably something sexual because Jim Henson had us watching sexual stuff when we were kids. We're not realizing only realizing it now because we're adults. She lets her boys come in, trash people's homes. They don't clean up after themselves. They invite their friends over and they eat up all the food. Now, this was coming from Tammy. We know Tammy loves to complain. So we didn't know if this was a little bit true, not true, a big exaggeration. We didn't know. Well, clearly it was true because now Amy is wanting to move out of her own goddamn house. Do you know how crazy someone has to drive you for you to say, fuck it, you keep the house, I'll keep paying all the bills, but my ass has got to bounce. I cannot be here.
Yeah.
So Amanda has moved in, and we know she's like 7'5" her fucking self, but she's living there, and now gradually Amanda has allowed for her boys to come and live there too. Like, how do you do that? You just tell your kids, hey, this is what Amanda says. She goes, wherever I am, my boys are always welcome to be here. Bitch, not when it's not your house. And Amy is just like, this house is not big enough. Amanda's driving me insane. She thinks she knows everything. She's always bossing me around. Then she's got her big ass children. Her children look like they don't even know how to think. That's just how dumb they look.
They're gorgs.
That's what they look like.
Junior Gorg.
Okay, so they are those. And Amy's like, I go grocery shopping and go home, and an hour later, they have eaten up all the food. And we can tell. Like, how do you as a house guest, which here is how Amanda sums it up. Well, she needs us as much as we need her, if not more. I'm thinking that is probably only the way that you see it. So, yeah. Of course, we have a scene with Amy completely breaking down because she's so sick of having Amanda and her kids live there. And as Amy said, she goes, I don't even think this bitch is trying to move out. She's been there 2 months. But my question is, what happened to the house that Amanda moved out of? Perhaps she sold it because she thought she was never coming back to Kentucky. Then what happened to the rental property where Tammy was living at? Did she sell that too? And if she did sell those things, bitch, where's the fucking money at so you can buy your own fucking house or at least go rent a house?
Yeah.
I don't understand it at all. So we see Chris. Chris has gotten his, skin removal surgery.
Good for him.
Still needs it. He looks great. He's keeping the weight off. But he does show us that he most definitely needs some reconstructive surgery done to the breast area.
Oh, I feel so bad. Every time I see a guy who's lost a lot of weight, but still has the big man titties, I feel so bad. Because man titties, and there's some men that do have that medical condition, like they do have man boobs, but I just don't find man boobs very attractive. No, I don't. I feel like if I have to lick a titty, I'm gonna just lick my own. I don't want to lick a man's titty. I just don't. Like to me, it's a feminine thing. I just don't. I mean, I'll lick a man's nipple, but I don't want to suck on a man's titty because men aren't supposed to have titties. It's a big difference. I don't know. I just feel like when I see man titties, I feel like I should put it in like some syrup or something and eat it. I don't know. It reminds me of big fluffy pancakes. I don't know. So you've got Chris, and understandably, he's like, I've worked so hard, I've done this, I've done that. He's like, but I most definitely need to get something done. He's like, because I've got bigger titties than all the women in the family. I'm like, have you not fucking seen your sister Amanda? Not Amanda. She's got enough titties for everybody. So you've got Brittany's attitude. Why did they keep trying to make Brittany a thing? Brittany fucking sucks. Her attitude is getting worse
by the seasons. You've got Tammy who's living in their rental property next door, which Chris says she lives there, but we don't ever fucking see her. She is always gone. I guess she doesn't really ask for help from him all that much. And part of the reason is Tammy says because Brittany's so jealous, which here we go again. It's Tammy saying something. We don't know if it's true, if it's a great exaggeration. But then we have, Chris in his talking head. He's like, my wife does have a bit of jealousy going on. How the fuck are you jealous of someone's sister who just lost 500 pounds and needs help? The girl is walking around with probably 125 to 200 pounds of just loose skin on her body.
Oh, yeah.
And you're jealous.
Yep.
Really? So there's this scene. They're all getting ready to go. I don't know if there was a water park. Probably in Kentucky that was considered a water park. But to the rest of the world, it was just a fucking dirty lake with inflatables on it. And there was like no one who worked there. Like, I don't know. It was weird. So anyway, they're getting ready to do this because this is going to be the family event. I can tell you just from me, if you want me to participate in something that's family related, it can't be there. As a matter of fact, it can't be outside. I'm not going. So you got Tammy who's like, hey, Bubba, can you come grab the chairs for everybody? Which that's reasonable. But then you hear Brittany, well, I got this bag ready whenever you're ready, come on and get it. So every time Tammy asks something and Chris goes to go do it, you got Brittany and her annoying face and head telling him to come do something too. And so, like literally Tammy says that she's so jealous that if Tammy and Chris are standing next to each other, Brittany will bump Tammy with her purse. I'm like, I know it's Kentucky, Brittany, but I just don't think that Tammy and Chris are fucking. I know you're probably used to seeing shit like that, but I don't think it's happening in this situation.
This doesn't seem to be the family.
It just doesn't. So they go out to this unsafe water park of doom.
There goes all our Kentucky listeners.
Sorry, guys. Oh, okay. Maybe just the town where they live.
It's not our fault.
I shouldn't generalize Kentucky, but this is the only Kentucky thing that we've been seeing. But I do love Kentucky Fried Chicken, if that makes me go back up in your rankings right there.
All we know is coal mines and incest. I'm sorry.
That's all we really know. And I'm sure Kentucky's a beautiful. You know what? Kentucky Derby is pretty fucking fly.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
There is
okay.
Like
if
if I had to be anywhere in Kentucky, I'm not going to even sit here and lie. It wouldn't be the Kentucky Derby either because I see horse racing as animal abuse. But I love the big hats.
Hats and mint juleps are okay.
I love that. But that is literally all that we see of Kentucky. Now, if you could tell me something else of great of Kentucky, DM me and tell me, and I would love to see it. I'd love to hear about it. But for not right now, all we got are the 1,000-pound sisters. That's it. So they go to this place. It looks like to me only Chris, Amanda, and Misty are having fun because you see Brittany on the sideline in her dress, her bathing suit dress. You've got Tammy saying she can't walk the ramp, which, okay. We see Amy laying down on the thing, slurping a drink, and that's it. Tammy gets upset. This is not fun. Y'all never think about me when y'all think about activities. Bitch, did we hear you telling your brother to go get the chairs for y'all to go to this activity? Just stop going. Just don't go.
Never seen anybody whose life has been saved, basically, and
still not enjoy things.
Still not happy.
Yeah, but on the flip side, I wouldn't have enjoyed that shit either.
Well, no.
I would have been like, y'all got me fucked up. If y'all think I'm about to sit here in this Galveston Beach colored water, which I don't fuck with Galveston Beach.
Water.
Yeah. And watching people flip-flop like seals trying to climb up a fucking sea mountain or whatever the fuck they be doing. Because that's all we saw, okay? So she's pissed off. They go to a restaurant. She's so mad she stays in a fucking car. Here we go again. We have seen this every single season. The only thing we didn't see was the fucking slow van door closure. We did see that. So here we are. We've got the rest of the family eating pizza, hamburgers, cheese sticks, and talking about losing goddamn weight. Okay, well, that is not how it's done. I can tell you that much there. And Misty lets out a fart that's so bad. Like they're sitting on the patio of this restaurant that it fucking clears the room. And they're like, how do you fart outside and it's that goddamn bad? I mean, you see Dirty Amy actually leave the table and say, what did you eat? Apparently everything. Because these people in their farts, like, I wonder, are the farts really that bad?
Oh, I believe they are. I just can't believe that these people still are so happy to laugh at themselves farting on display for the whole world. Like,
I don't know. I mean,
just gross, dude.
I
mean, farts are funny.
Farts are funny.
Jesus.
But their farts, they need their own credit. The farts should get paid at this point.
They're producers.
Because they're sound bites or whatever. I think they should get a little bit of money. So at this lunch, Brittany goes, well, I don't want to be the only fat sister. I'm thinking about getting surgery too. Brittany, even at the size that you are, there's a whole bunch of other changes that you could make that will make yourself better. Even if you don't lose any weight. Because when I see Brittany, I don't think fat.
No,
but she could lose some weight.
She could lose some weight.
But I'm thinking like 50, 60 pounds.
Yeah.
I don't even know she would qualify for surgery.
No, I mean...
Hair surgery.
Restructure her face a little bit. Because she is, unfortunately...
She looks like a potato.
Yeah.
She will never, ever in life not look like a potato to me.
Nope.
Okay? She just looks like an arts and crafts day at preschool where they have the kids to get a potato and make it into a person.
So they get toothpicks.
They have toothpicks. They get the little googly eyes. So, you know those little fake eyes when you shake them, they just move all around. Popsicle stick. And they give them that grass, that curly grass, fake grass for hair. That's Brittany. She will never not be that. And you know what? Her sour fucking attitude does not make it even better. No. Do you know how god-awful her attitude has to be for me to only pinpoint her bad attitude and you've got the rest of the Slaytons out there?
Yeah, she does kind of stand alone that way.
She kind of stands alone. All right, so we get Tammy, who, Chris is just like, we never see her. Where is she going off to? And we see a scene where an Uber driver comes and picks up Tammy, and you see Chris, like, run out of his house, like, where'd she go? Where'd she go? Where's she going? God damn it, she left already before I could ask her where to go. Because they have no idea. They know she's not working a job.
Right.
You know what I mean? So they're just kind of like, what the fuck,
Just from their perspective, she just disappears.
She just disappears. It's like, is she doing drugs? Like, I'm sure there's 1,000,001 questions that they have about, where is she going? And why isn't she telling us?
But you can't tell me these people don't have, like, their location shared between all of them. They seem like that kind of...
But you can turn that off at any given point.
Oh, I know.
I know when I go visit my boyfriend, I turn my location off, so you don't know where the fuck I am.
Well, on your phone.
You don't have any other location on me. You don't. Here's the point. I don't care. I'm still gonna go visit my boyfriend 3 times a week. I'm just gonna do it. That's what he expects, That is what he knows. He can't have me 7 days a week, so he's like, at least give me 3 days a week. I'm like, fine, I'll do it. So they're all just trying to figure out, where the hell is Tammy going? And then we see Tammy's like, I have this secret. I am seeing someone. I am in a relationship with someone. She is female, and I'm just not ready to introduce her to my family. Yes, I came out as pansexual years and years ago. And, this is a step up from the douchey black guys.
From the black feeders.
From the black feeders that she was dating. Now, she doesn't say this, but, it's a step up.
Yeah.
And then we see Tammy's girlfriend, who also has a missing front tooth, but it's not the same missing front tooth as Tammy. So one of them has a left missing front tooth.
So they fit.
And the other one, so when they kiss, they have combined. They have 2 full front teeth.
They complete each other.
When they kiss. And when I tell you, when they showed her girlfriend, it's like, well, that
what did you expect?
That.
None of us.
She's most definitely not what one would call a lipstick lesbian. She is a Kentucky lesbian.
Yes.
If someone had to say, Keisha, out of a picture of all these women,
Here's a
I
potato.
want you to pick out the one who you think is a Kentucky lesbian, and that's who I would pick. I mean, she fits. And so Tammy's like, I don't want anyone who's going to use me. And then we hear this bitch ask her, will she buy her something? Will you buy me one of those? Sure. I'm like, well, and I'm thinking to myself, what is expensive here at this bowling alley that you cannot purchase yourself? I just don't know. So now my
Really fancy
spidey
ball.
senses are up. I'm like, is this lady who is horribly dressed, well, she's dressed better than Slayton's, is she using Tammy or not?
Isn't it funny? It doesn't matter the gender. It doesn't matter any of that.
They date the same.
People.
People are people. Yeah, they
People are
know.
people.
This person knows you're on TV. This person knows you're insecure. And yeah, so there is a high chance that this person could be using you. Although I have heard through the grapevine that both Tammy and Amy are both engaged. I don't know if they're engaged to these people or they're engaged to other people, but I'm thinking it's to these people that we've met. All right. So we also found out something else about Amy's new boyfriend, who does have all his teeth, at least the teeth in the front. They got matching tattoos on like their second or third date.
Crazy.
So when they have like their family get together, Amy, she cries about Amanda living with her. And no, she didn't cry because Amanda was actually there. They're just talking about all these things. And why their family meetings are always outside, I will never fucking understand. But, Amanda says, I've met Brian and he really is good to Amy. He likes all that Halloween horror stuff that she likes. I mean, because yeah, that makes a great mate. I mean, I love Halloween and horror stuff, and James will tell you I'm a bad wife any day of the fucking week. So that does not make one a good partner, all right? That means you just have one common thing of interest, okay, between the two of you. But Amy's like, yeah, he's asked me to move in. And Chris is like, you're already fucking up. You are already royally fucking up. Why would you even entertain the idea of, look, he was like, you've got 2 boys with a person you're married to. Look how that fucking turned out.
He called her.
I'm like, yeah, he is
Got a point,
clocking
Chris.
this shit because what could she say?
God damn it, Amy.
Yeah, exactly. And, Chris put it right. It's hard to give Amy advice because all she's going to say is, you guys are ganging up on me.
Yeah.
Y'all don't want to see me happy.
She is
I'm about to run off because she always runs off to her no car and her not being able to see the street signs ass. Bitch, where are you going? Not very far, okay?
She is a victim mentality, period.
All the time. So you have her getting ready to go out on a date with Ryan, and she asked Amanda to help her. I will say that Amanda's hair was exceptionally cute in this scene. I'm not sure what she looked like. She did a wand. She looked she went and got it done.
I think Amanda can probably clean up the best out of all of them.
I think she
Relatively
can.
speaking, but I think she can.
And she will forever look like the white Octavia Spencer because they have the same face, just different heights and different skin tones. Like that, everyone has a twin, and they are most definitely twins, separated at birth. So Amy has Amanda trying to help her get ready for her date. So she is going through outfits, and Amanda's like, what? None of this stuff should be worn out of the house. And she was right. And none of it was size appropriate either. It was all, the best you could do is have that bitch go take a sit down bath and just call it a day. That's just about as good as she's going to look. She gives her hair a wash. I mean, what she left out in was horrible for an average person. But for Amy, she looked as good as Amy could probably really look.
Yeah, that's a pretty heavy lifting statement there.
I mean, she was in a spaghetti strap black dress that was not slimming because she got it in the wrong motherfucking size. Yeah, and she does not wear shapewear. Look, even skinny people, okay? People of all sizes will put on shapewear. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because it helps make your shape look a little bit better.
It helps shape you.
It helps to shape you.
Which is good if you have no shape.
or a shape, and then you have a good shape, but that one body part is out of shape. That one body part that don't fit with the rest of the group. That one, like, it's for me, it's my fupa. It's like, oh, everybody else ready to go, but here go your ass acting a motherfucking fool. So let me go slip on a fucking girdle. That, I mean, it's part of being a woman. It just is. So this is where we hear him say, "Are you gonna move in with me?" And the answer needs to be absolutely no. So look, I don't know exactly what's going on, because I do know that Amy did a meet and greet. Mm-hmm. Now, normally, Amy and Tammy do the meet and greets together.
Oh, just by herself?
She did one by herself, and you are going to flip your lid when I tell you where the meet and greet was.
The Golden Corral?
No. I'm going to give you 3 guesses.
Okay.
So you've already done the Golden Corral? No.
Okay. At the VFW Hall?
Nope. That is too fancy.
That was too fancy. Waffle House?
Too fancy. She had it at
gas station?
She had it at Mr. Gaddy's Pizza.
Oh.
A meet and greet.
Mr.
Gaddy's Pizza.
That is the most Amy thing I've ever heard.
Here's the thing. I literally thought that there was only one Mr. Gaddy's still around, and it's the one that's in Clear Lake by us. I thought that was the last Mr. Gaddy.
Like the last Blockbuster.
Yeah, I really thought, like, wow. The last Mr. Gaddy's, and it's 15 minutes away from us. But clearly, Mr. Gaddy's is still on and popping all over. They're so on and popping that they had Amy Slayton there, and I think it was a pretty good turnout. I mean, she charged you for a picture, she charged you for an autograph, and then she did a combo where you could get a picture and an autograph for $50. Good job, Amy.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. So for me, those were really the true highlights from the first 2 episodes. I think next episode, we're actually going to see the whole play out of the camel bite, Amy getting arrested, and all the downfalls from that. Because what we do see from the previews is Chris saying, since Amy got arrested, that bitch has gained so much goddamn weight, she's done packed on at least 30 damn pounds. And then we see Amy walking around in different scenes just eating. So that's our show. If you enjoy hearing my voice, you can catch me every Monday on Pink Shade Podcast, or we are breaking down this season, which is a really good season of Love After Lockup. We didn't think they could get any dumber, but these are like entertaining dumb people. Sometimes we get a season where everyone's just fucking dumb and it's just a snore fest. Not this season. It is good. So if you're not watching it, you've got time to catch up and then listen to the recap next Monday for Friday's episode. Also, you can hear me every Wednesday on Pink Shade Podcast on, I think it is the $10 Prime level. Love After Lockup is on the free feed. We are recapping the show The Valley, that is on Bravo TV, on Pink Shade Prime, which I think is a $10 level every single Wednesday. And I got to say, The Valley is a pretty good show. I did not watch the first season until 2 days before season 2 premiered, and I had to watch it so I could get up to speed on what's going on. And it is pretty good. It is messy. It is juicy. There's a drug addict on there. We've got mental breakdowns. We've got all the things. So I will be on there too. Thank you, Producer James, for doing your producer things, and we will see you guys next time.
It's the Libra Lounge. The Libra Lounge. Ooh.